Hello, everybody. This is my next podcast on culture and cognition, and this time the country is Germany. German culture, German tradition, German history, and German learning style. And that's what we're going to talk with Malte Ohm today. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Pleasure.
And let me start with the first question directly with this, which is about the learning mindset. How is the mindset of learners here? Should it be fast-paced, slow-paced, or different methodologies? How would you define that?
As far as I can observe it, and I assume that you are talking about adults,
Yes.
not about children. The learning approach is very much that it has to be an individual approach. So to find a collective approach would be hardly possible, if not impossible. What I can see, that it has to be self-motivated. When people are learning, they want to decide themselves the pace,
Okay.
the topic, when and where to learn. For instance, I get up in the morning every day, and at 6 a.m. for half an hour I read something, difficult topics, but this is me. You will ask my neighbor and he will give you a completely different answer. This is a good illustration of the fact that very individual approaches.
So that makes me very curious, which takes us to the next question. What is that behavioral trait, lifestyle, or that aspect that you define as, oh, this is German style, this is the German way? And I'm not talking about the learning style. In generic, what is the German way?
This question can and should be interpreted in a lot of different ways. My take on this is, and this is something when I travel, which is largely misunderstood, and maybe it is misunderstood in our precious contact as well. It is the concept of doubt.
Okay.
We want to learn in order to overcome doubt. So this is the combination to your first question. A lot of my friends and colleagues like to learn because they want to do it better. They want to see a better result. And in order to achieve the better result, the first reaction to every information, be it private, be it business-wise, be it educational-wise, is doubt. But this is often, when we travel, it is misinterpreted as disrespect. When I doubt what you are saying, it is not that I don't believe you, but it is that I'm already thinking how to enhance the outcome, to have an optimum of outcome. This is very often misunderstood. We strongly believe that the first idea, to put it very simply, the first idea is not the best. But when somebody else challenges it, and you combine it, that then the outcome is superior to the original idea. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I'm especially working with German culture and German colleagues. I can very well connect the dots now. And thank you for clarifying. Now the next question. While we spoke about the adult learning methods and the behaviors, etc., right from childhood, right from schooling system, in most of the German education system, the assessments are very different. And I'm not going to disclose that to the audience today. Why don't you explain about the assessment system and how they're changing with times?
Yeah. It has changed over the past 40, 50 years quite substantially.
Mm-hmm.
The original German, although there is no real German system because we are a federal state, but let's not go into the nitty-gritties here, was the basic idea that the pupil had to learn how to learn.
Okay.
So the teacher encouraged the pupil not to repeat, and in any case, absolutely not to repeat word by word what they had read in the book or what the teacher had said, but always to encourage to say it in their own words and to apply it if possible. If you wanted high marks, you had to apply what you had learned to a slightly different variation of the problem.
Moving to the last question. So, this element of doubt for the betterment, which is very interesting concept, and I'm sure for most of the viewers today, they've learned something very new about the why of it. A little more on the why. How has Germany historically and geographically evolved to this concept? Something from the history books, please.
You have to understand Germany's geographical position in order to understand this concept. If we look to the west, we have the Anglosphere. If we look to the east, the sphere of the Russian language, and we as a very small entity, the German-speaking part of the world, are stuck in between those very, very different and opposing concepts. And our task would be to mediate between those two approaches. And in order to have a place between these two very different concepts. And the result is, what do we do? And the result is doubt. And hence the concept of doubt in order to be able to decide how to, so to speak, survive between those two opposing blocks of ideas.
Very straightforward, very clear. So, doubt as excellence or doubt for excellence. Apply your knowledge from learning and not just reproduce what you learned, and learn how to learn. There are many valuable inputs that I have understood during this really interesting conversation with Malte about the German culture and cognition. And that's for now. See you all in the next podcast with another country, another culture. Thank you so much. This is Narmada signing off.